All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and start with our introduction of guests here. I'm going to start with Chief Stewart Steele. Chief Stewart Steele of the Rio Rancho Police Department is the current police chief. Chief Steele's career highlights over 40 years of law enforcement experience with 25 years serving in supervisory positions such as police chief, assistant police chief, and SWAT commander, police spokesperson, and the list just goes on from there. Chief Steele holds a master's degree in public administration, a bachelor's degree in professional administration, a graduate certificate in criminal justice, and he is a graduate of the FBI's 252nd National Academy. Chief Steele serves currently as a member of the New Mexico Chief of Police's Association Executive Board, Safer New Mexico's Executive Board, New Mexico Municipal League, and is a member of the International Chief of Police Association. Chief Steele believes in lifelong learning and is currently working on a graduate certificate in organizational management. One cool thing about Chief Steele, he has held a law enforcement certification in 4 states: Florida, Tennessee, Oklahoma, and our home state of New Mexico. Glad to have you, Chief Steele. Welcome to our meeting. Now, before I forget, he's been married to his lovely wife, Miss Lacey, for 32 years, 6 children, 10 grandchildren, and 3 of his own sons have followed in his proud footsteps to serve as members in our law enforcement and military community. Thank you to them for their service and for all they do as well for our community. And in your spare time, I see you enjoy time with your family. That's awesome, sir. Family is always important. Yes, sir.
Yes, right. That's right.
All right. Up next, we have Deputy Chief Rick Romero from the Rio Rancho Police Department. Deputy Chief Rick Romero is over the Operations Bureau for the Rio Rancho Police Department. He joined the department in March 2007. He has over 30 years of progressive law enforcement and military experience. Deputy Chief Romero has dedicated many years to criminal investigations, patrol services, and SWAT. He also managed and supervised support services, traffic division, and tactical responses to high-risk critical incidents. Welcome to you both. And again, thank you for coming and spending time with us. We know you're both are very busy with the police department and with things going on in the community. So thanks for coming. We're glad to have you guys here. We'll hear from them in just a few moments. And just wanted to bring this here up on the screen, folks. Our club here, we spent some amazing time together as a team to come up with a mission, vision, and value statement. And I'm very proud of everyone that came together and put this together. So Deputy Chief Romero, Chief Steele, we want to present this to you there to kind of give you an idea of what we're all about here at the City of Vision Civitan Club. Good. Our mission is to build good citizenship in Sandoval County and its environs by volunteering our time, treasures, and talents to improve our community with an emphasis on helping people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Our vision, a community of endless possibilities for people of all abilities. Our values, service, community, friendships, responsibility, compassion, and inclusiveness. We spent some time together with our past president, Dan Brown, creating these. And like I said, I'm very proud of everyone. I feel this really encompasses what we're about here. And of course, there's not just our club. There's thousands, if not more, of us across the globe. All right, so before we begin our normal part of the meeting, I would like to go ahead and turn the floor over to Chief Stewart Steele and Deputy Chief Rick Romero with the Rio Rancho Police Department. Let's give them a nice warm welcome, everyone. The floor is all yours, gentlemen.
All right, I'll go ahead and start. And so I just want to add just a couple things. I too have a son playing baseball right now. I'm not getting my updates on the Game Changer. I'm getting them. My wife's texting me, so we're kind of in the same boat there on that one. And also I have 10 grandkids, and number 11 should be here probably this week sometime. So trying to tell my kids to stop having kids because it's getting expensive. So with that, So I was asked basically to kind of give a little overview about Rio Rancho and the Rio Rancho Police Department. So I thought I would just start out with that, just highlight a few things for you. And then if you have any questions for me, I'd be glad to hear that. I'm always interested in what questions you have that I can answer directly to you. So the Rio Rancho Police Department right now, we have at this very moment, we have 145 sworn, and with our civilian staff, we're right around 230. We have the uniform services side of it, which Deputy Chief Romero he oversees. We have a support services side, which is like our training, recruiting, that type of officers. We have that side, and we also have communications. What some people don't realize that we dispatch for every emergency agency within Sandoval County at this time. So I want to say we dispatch for 23 different agencies. So that can be taxing on us too. So right now we're allotted to have 52 people in dispatch, but we all know the way that hiring and retention is right now. We are not up to full staff, either police or communications. So we are always very interested in looking ahead, and we're doing a 5-year staffing plan because we always want to get ahead of the curve because Rio Rancho is growing very quickly. And so we're trying to, I don't want to say keep up with it because that wouldn't be right, but we're trying to at least stay in the ballpark of that. So we are currently in our budget season. Not this Thursday, but the next Thursday, the 25th, we will go for a budget hearing before council. And I believe we will get an additional, I want to say 5 officers at that time in various areas. So the city works with us very well in trying to prepare us and help us in anything we do, whether it be personnel or equipment. They're always very supportive of us. So with that, Rio Rancho is I don't want to jinx myself, but we always do very well in categories as safest cities in New Mexico, especially for the size of the city compared to others. We are fairly safe. With that, I don't want to lull you into some false sense of security here either, right? Crime can happen anywhere. We do have crime here. It's just not as much as others, but there is crime here. So, but we do a very good job, I believe, in combating that crime. We look for crime trends, especially, one example is we were getting closer to Christmas. We're starting to see robberies, armed robberies, and the frequency, the descriptions. Our crime analyst was able to work on that, and we were able to put out a couple different teams. And I think within a day of the teams going out, we had them in custody. So we do a very good job, I believe. And by we, I don't mean me per se. I mean the officers out there working and their supervisors do a very good team looking for trends and trying to address those trends. Another thing I believe we do really well, and you may agree or not agree with me, is our traffic enforcement. Some people love it. Some people hate it, and that's fine. I mean, I get it. Nobody wants a ticket. So it's twofold, though. First, we are very interested in keeping our motoring public safe. That's first and foremost. I just saw some stats in a meeting I just left before this one of our traffic stats, whether it be crashes with injuries, without injuries, and fatals. And compared to other places, we do a very good job. But even one fatal crash is one too many, right? So we try to get out there and work as hard as we can to combat that. Second of all, our heavy footprint in traffic stops, while it's good for the traffic side of that, it's also good for the crime side of that. People are a little more hesitant to come from Albuquerque up, or really from anywhere, to Rio Rancho to commit a crime if they believe that there's an opportunity that any traffic violation they commit, they're going to get stopped. Or if they do commit a crime here, the chances of them getting out of Rio Rancho are not as great as other places. So while our traffic enforcement is good for keeping our motorists safe, it's also good for helping tamp down some of the crime that we could be seeing here, and that's kind of combating. So I think we do very good in several different places. I'm probably a little prejudiced on that. I understand that. This place means the world to me. The people that work here mean the world to me, and they do a great job each and every day. So one of the things I'm very proud of, and it hasn't been easy, and I'm sure DC Romero can attest to this. So, our officers, we got like 21, 22-year-old officers out there, and they're going to houses where people are in crisis and they're expected to know what to do. And, crap, half of them don't even shave yet. And it's ridiculous. And looks like we're stealing them out of middle school to put them out there. They're so young. So one of the things we've tried to do, and it's not a new approach, but it's new for us, is we've started a crisis intervention team, and we're starting small because it's new and we want to build it out. And so we have 2 officers assigned to it. They're basically building the program right now, but the goal is for them to go out and respond to calls where people are in crisis. But better than that, we want to kind of be able to get to people that we know have some issues, that we can help them before they get in crisis and stop them so they don't get that far. So the sticking point that we've had so far is the city has been all in, and we've even gotten money to contract a clinician to work with us. That's the problem. We haven't gotten that piece yet, but we are working on that. And that's been a struggle. It seems like every time we get close to getting that piece ready to go, something happens and we slide back down the hill. But what I didn't realize until recently, that while those 2 officers have been putting together our SOPs and working with APD's CIT team, trying to get the knowledge and how they do things, they are actually already responding and dealing with people in Rio Rancho in crisis and keeping up with those stats. So while we don't have the clinician piece yet, they are already out there doing the job that they're designed to do. So I'm very proud of them for that. So those are just a few things we're doing. I mean, I could talk probably all night, and I don't want to do that, but I'm probably more interested in if you have any questions for me.
Mark has a question here, sir, for you. Go ahead,
Okay.
Mark.
Do you need any volunteer to help you guys?
Do you guys need any volunteers at the police department?
Oh, so we always need help. I mean, but being a city volunteer, I mean, you have to go through a background check and all. And to me, I understand why, but it's a little, it's like you're trying to help us and we're putting you through this process. So one of the best ways for if you actually want to volunteer at the police department is to attend our Citizen Police Academy. In fact, we have a class of it going on right now as I speak. But when you graduate from that academy, you're part of the Citizen Police Academy alumni. And an example of some of the things they do is they'll help us at our holiday parties. We just had an awards ceremony for the officers here, and they helped us in that. They help us tremendously, and they're a great asset. But that's probably one of the easiest ways. And the Citizen Police Academy is a hoot, borderline hoot and a half. I mean, people love it. So you kind of get to go through and kind of see some of the inner workings of the police department and communications too, and understand why we do some of the things that we do.
All right. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Chief Steele. And looks like we have another question from Dan Brown, our past club president. Go ahead, Dan.
Chief Romero, Deputy Chief Romero and Chief Steele, thank you very much for all you're doing to keep Rio Rancho one of the safest cities in the country. It's not just in Mexico, it's in the country. You guys are doing a fabulous job. So my first question is, and I've asked the mayor this before too, why do you think Rio Rancho's had such good success with the crime rates versus, let's say, Albuquerque or other surrounding communities?
You want me to take that one, Chief?
Go ahead.
We get this question a lot, and I think it's twofold. We're a department that takes pride in our mission of responding to all calls for service and trying to get there quickly and taking care of business. Our philosophy is if you take care of the small things, it takes away from those big things that are occurring, right? The major crimes, you know, and we hear that a lot. Like I know Chief Steele already touched on it. You know, people are afraid to come up the hill because of our enforcement actions. And, you know, we have, even though we're not fully staffed and we believe we need more officers because it's, you know, 200 and some thousand, the population, and we're just growing faster. We take pride in just our response. We respond to all the quality of life issues that in, you know, other departments that you won't even get an officer to respond to. You know, we try, you know, if we get those type of calls for service or those complaints, we look into those things and we try to take care of them. And that could be anything just from parking to, you know, the speeding in neighborhoods, things of that nature. So part of that, what we're coming up with too, as well, going forward, this new year is we're trying to implement a quality of life enforcement program and basically a unit of officers for that. So that's our big goal, is to take care of those small things and to respond quickly and not having people wait for hours for priority calls for service. But the second thing is definitely how we are with the community and our community policing. It's very important for us to reach out to the community to, you know, back when me and Chief Steele first began, it was us against, you know, us against the community, it seemed like all the time. And we had to change that going forward through the years. And we've gotten very good about being out there in the public, being friendly with the public, just relating to people on a personal level. And, you know, gaining that trust of the public is the #1 key. I'll give you guys a quick example is when I was on the SWAT team several years ago, we went down to assist APD on Central for the riots. And we got down there and they were throwing rocks. It was all the stuff that you would see on TV. We got down off of our armored vehicle and people were in our faces and, you know, yelling at us and doing all this stuff. And it was fine. And then a couple of them looked at our patch and they were like, wait, they're Rio Rancho. And they were like, what are they doing here? And they were like, oh, never mind. You guys are cool. Let's go find APD. So, you know, it's things like that. You know, we take pride in public trust, that's for sure. So those two things.
Thank you very much. I also want to commend you on your chaplains force there. You guys have an excellent group of chaplains, and we've worked very closely with them the last couple of years. And Jeff Carr and his group are good friends of our organization, and we have an annual observance where we honor chaplains during the first week of February. And so, just a big, you know, shout out to them. One other thing, I'm one of my other lives, I am the chief financial officer of a new nonprofit. It's called the Harris Family Foundation. And one of the things that they are working on doing is setting up support services for first responders, police, fire, frontline hospital workers, and veterans, because the amount of PTSD and other trauma that these individuals come across is just unbelievable. So we'll be probably contacting you shortly to tell us about our organization and be reaching out to see how we can help out, because we know there's such a great need. And if we can, you know, help just one person and save their career, that's what we're all about. So
I will say that in addition to our chaplains, we have a peer support team. I mean, it's kind of a three-prong for us, right? We have the police psychological group through the city. Then we have our peer support and the chaplains. And even with that, right, it's not perfect. We do the best we can, but it's not perfect. So when you decide that you're ready, I believe Matthew has the contact for Miss Karen, who actually runs this place. Don't tell her I said that, but she will set up a meeting, and we may we'll probably have some members of the command staff, but we'll probably have some members of like peer support, and maybe chaplains, some in there too to hear, if that's all right with you.
You bet. We appreciate that.
No, thank you.
All right, good questions, guys. Let's keep them going. Do I have any other questions here from other members on the call that have anything for Chief Steele or Deputy Chief Romero? Anybody else have any questions? Mark has another question for you. Guys, go ahead, Mark.
For both of them. I live behind Taco Bell on 528, close from Walmart, and every night one car is speeding like crazy. I can't get a license plate, but it's speeding like crazy.
So you're saying there is a speeding issue, looks like between the Taco Bell there on 528. There is a car that he
And
cannot get the
my
plate
street.
for.
Yeah, another one too. Another say, Taco Bell, they blocking the street and nobody could go by. And that's a hazard for somebody going to hit somebody.
Yeah, I would say in reference to that, obviously, at the time, if you can, just call our non-emergency number for an officer to go there. Obviously there, I can't say somebody will be there within seconds, but we prioritize our calls and we try to get to all our calls very quickly, like I was talking about earlier. And if you even if you don't get license plates, just get us a description. They can saturate that area, look for those vehicles. We can make contact with Taco Bell if that's becoming an issue where they're out in the street. Because obviously they shouldn't be out in the street blocking the traffic. So if we can get notified, with the non-emergency number of 505-891-7226, definitely give us a call and we can respond to those calls for service.
That call also helps us track later, right?
Yes.
So if you never call us, we don't know what's going on. So if you call, you make that complaint, we're able to pull that information and track also the complaints.
Right. Thank you, Mark. Good question, sir. Appreciate you there. Carol, do you have a question for the chief or deputy chief?
I don't have a question. Just a minute. I just really appreciate the work that you guys do. I think it's just fantastic. I feel so safe. You guys are wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And we hear it every day and we appreciate it. This is one of the places where we can actually go, and on a daily basis, if you're out there in the community, somebody's, telling us thank you. So we definitely appreciate that. We can go to other places like down the hill and you kind of don't hear that as much. So
Well, just being a homeowner here, it's like I really appreciate the support. It's great.
I just want you to know though, it's a team effort, right? We're in this together and we couldn't do what we do without you, the community, right? And you actually give us the power to do what we do. And so we couldn't do what we do without you, and our community is so supportive. I've never worked anywhere that was just anti-law enforcement. I mean, there's some folks in every community that look at you sideways, but I've never worked anywhere like here in the city of Rio Rancho, and the community support is so precious to us. We also realize we could lose that in a heartbeat, and we're all cognizant of that. And we preach that to the young officers coming in, the newer officers coming in. But what we can do here, and I'll just give you one quick example before I quit talking about this. When I came here to do my interviews for this position, my wife and son came with me. We all flew out. It's like, this is a team thing. We're all going to be living here, so let's all go see it. And so I'm staying in at the hotel down the road, and we're like, hey, let's go get something to eat. And so we go to a restaurant, and I'm just here for an interview. These people don't know me from Adam. And we're sitting
Mhm.
there, and of course, my wife's a talker, so she's just asking about Rio Rancho. And the waiter is like, I gotta tell you too, the police here are the best. They do this, they do that. And I'm like, oh my God, where'd this
Yeah,
come
that's
from?
awesome.
We literally left the restaurant, went to another place, and somebody was talking to us about how good the police were here. And I looked at her and she looked at me and we were like, yeah, this is it right here.
Good.
But that's that relationship, and we don't ever want to lose that, ever. So,
I
but
don't think
thank
you will.
you.
Yeah, you bet.
Mhm.
I have one more to say.
Mark has one more thing he'd like to say. Mark?
Thank you. My dad was the honor guard, and he did a lot of stuff for you guys. Donald Taylor, if you guys remember him.
He was an honor guard and stuff, you said, Mark?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he headed up the honor
yeah.
guard.
And did funerals.
Oh,
So, was he in the honor guard when he was in the Navy?
And he was in the Navy, but out here, he was doing honor guard for his funeral, and he did a lot for you guys.
so here in
Donald
Rio
Taylor.
Rancho,
That's
Oh,
what I
nice.
hear. That's
Very
that-
nice.
Donald Taylor, he wants to know if you remember him.
I don't, honestly, I'm number one, I'm bad with names, which is probably terrible for being a police officer. But number two, I meet so many people, it's hard for me to keep
All right,
up.
another thing, my dad gives the guns to you guys. The guns for the to shoot, but no blanks. He gave the guns to you guys, and he gave the van to you guys too.
Gave the what to us?
It was,
The van,
the
honor
van,
guard van.
the
He
honor
gave it
guard
to you
van.
guys.
Oh,
Oh, that's right. That's right. I believe that's what they were driving to the academy for a while up in Santa Fe.
Okay.
It was donated.
Yeah, my father donated that and the blank guns.
and the, looks like
Oh,
he was
okay.
able to do the, this, 21 gun salute.
oh, gotcha.
Oh, nice. Well, we appreciate it.
Well, that's
That
something to
was
be
very
proud
kind
of,
of him.
Mark. Yeah, that's very cool.
That's neat.
And
That's a good connection there. Mhm.
And my dad died last year, February 13.
I'm
Sorry
sorry.
to hear that.
Yeah. And it was nice. Somebody knew people from the Navy and they came and shot off for my dad.
The
No,
21 gun salute. Yeah.
yeah.
They buried him with honors. Sounds like it.
Very in Rio Rancho. You know, I mean, with people that very is the Army, Navy, in the front of the cemetery, that part,
Okay.
in
Wow.
Rio Rancho.
All right.
Wow.
Well, I just want to say, guys, to both Chief Steele and Deputy Chief Romero, we here at the Save Vision Civitan Club, we fully support you guys and everything you guys do at the Rio Rancho Police Department. So if there's anything our club can do to help you guys out, you guys have our contact information. Karen has our information. Reach out to us. We're always happy to lend a hand wherever you guys might need it. So please, know you
Thank you.
guys, we consider you guys honorary members. We really do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
And thank you guys. And let's give them one more round of applause, man. What
Yes, thank
Ah,
you.
thank you.
amazing guest
Thank you
speakers
very
we
much.
had.
Thank you for your time.
All right. You guys have a good night.
Thanks
Good
for having
call.
us.
Thank you, Deputy
Take care.
Chief Meadow. Thank you, Chief Steele.